What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is what it is. Listen, look, man. So, in light of the new situation that's popping off with Tory Lanez and things like that, new evidence is coming to the forefront. And yeah, listen, look, it's crazy out here that this is going down this way. After all this, it in my mind, it does take time. It does take time for things to surface. And now that this situation is surfacing, allegedly the security guard of Megan Thee Stallion's ex-best friend is coming forth and he's saying that, he has evidence that, Megan's ex-friend admitted to actually, shooting her, and in my mind, that kind of makes sense to a degree. The reason why the evidence on the gun was inconclusive and things like that, because listen, look, all right. Let's go here now. Let's recap and let's see what Megan Thee Stallion had to say to Gayle King.
Yes, I lied to Gayle King. I know that you're gonna ask me about it. I just want to talk about the shooting. Why'd you ask me about the story? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, like once, maybe twice on a drunk night, kept catching me out of my mind.
You have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
So this is what she's saying here. She's saying she didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory, which, come on now. It is what it is. She just told you. A drunk night. Okay. Wow. Okay. What does that mean? What does that mean? A drunk night. Oh, he caught me on a drunk night. He caught me down bad. Okay. He caught your plain ass down bad. Okay, then, Megan. So, all right. We're about to go here now. We're about to check this out. Let's see what's going on here.
Like, he shot a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And I was
so is he
scared.
In the car shooting from the car, Megan?
He is standing up over the window, shooting. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick, because I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me.
Were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I looked down at my feet because I wasn't even, the adrenaline is pumping so hard. I'm not sure if he hit me. I feel it, but I don't understand what's happening. So I looked down at my feet and I'm like, oh my God, I'm really bleeding. Mm-hmm. So I dropped down and I crawled in somebody's driveway. Mm-hmm. I can't believe you shot me.
And what is he saying, Tory Lanez saying?
He's apologizing. He's I'm so sorry. Please don't tell nobody. I'll give y'all $1 million if y'all don't say nothing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you offering me money right now? Help me. And if you sorry, just help me.
But at that moment,
we didn't even make it to the house. Somebody had already called the police, and it was so many of them. It was helicopters. I was like, oh my God, we all about to die. The George Floyd incident had just happened. The police are definitely very much shoot first, ask questions after. So I'm like, it's a hot gun in the car. I'm bleeding. I've been shot. They about to kill somebody.
Lord. So, apparently, allegedly, what the story at that time was, Tory Lanez was sleeping with the both of them, her and her friend. So it's and jealousy involved, things like that. This could get very crazy. And that's what was the rumors were going around at that time. So listen, look, we're about to dive off in here. We're about to see what the lawyers have to say about this, about this craziness. Let's go here now.
Bring to your attention some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory in Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Tory Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later.
Now, we all know the best friend has immunity in this situation. So they're probably like, screw it, we got immunity. If some shit is hit, if something new is hitting the fan to where it's gonna, create perjury or anything like that, they got immunity. Her best friend got immunity. Megan don't. So, if things are hitting the fan and new evidence is coming out and information and things like that, somebody's going to go down for perjury. Now her best friend was smart enough to get immunity. And I wonder why she needed immunity. Let's keep going.
Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out, but given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover.
Now, I did hear this angle, a few different angles, because I was listening for, from a few different podcasts, other things. Definitely on the Breakfast Club, they had an angle with this particular type of side right here about him, what the lawyers were saying about him being attacked, a day or two after, they decided to announce that this security guard was doing this. And the way that they presented it on the Breakfast Club, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It's like they were trying to present it like the lawyers were just taking it and running with it and trying to accuse, Megan Thee Stallion's team of, setting Tory Lanez up in prison and things like that. And that's of course, as we can clearly hear, that's not what the lawyer said. That's not what he said. He's not accusing, Megan Thee Stallion's teams or lawyers or anything like that of trying to set Tory Lanez up. And it just, the Breakfast Club be sometime a little shaky. They be crazy on there. Let's keep going.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting.
So I don't know how they didn't take that in consideration in you know, in the courthouse when they were talking about this. Jesus. Okay, so you had a witness that clearly states that two men were breaking up the fight. It was only two men there, Tory Lanez and another guy, and two women were actually fighting. So, wow. Okay.
This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense? We don't know. It should have been taken. It is Unite the People's understanding, regular LAPD practice at a crime scene like that. Anybody who's there, the DNA is taken. Another irregularity. Why, at Miss Harris's police interview, was a non-lawyer, non-family member record company executive allowed to participate? Highly irregular situation. Normally, we see cases, strangers are not allowed in these things, but it was in this case. All of these things point to the highly irregular nature of his trial and his conviction. It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted.
So this is where we at, everybody. Hold on here. Let me back up a second. But this is where we at. And man, that's a lot that just unfolded here. So, you know, you got the situation here where you have the record executive in on things where he's not supposed to be. He's not a lawyer. None of that crap. He's not even supposed to be there. Also, it's like, what are they doing here? What are they doing? They didn't even take DNA from everybody. At most crime scenes, they're going to take DNA from everybody. That's just not specific to any type of state or anything like that. That's nationwide. A crime scene like that, they're going to take DNA from everybody. Hand samples, especially once guns are being fired, they need gun residue to see who actually fired the guns, things like that. Yeah, man, wow. So we're going to see how this thing is going to unfold because, if this is true about what this security guard is saying and he has the proper information and evidence that it takes to free Tory, yeah, man, I don't think Megan's career is going to be able to survive this.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I don't think so. Because at this point, she's committed a lot of perjury because she got up on the stand and talked out the side of her neck. If this evidence is viable, if it is, man, this is wild. This is wild. And, you know, we're out here and we're allowing women to lock innocent men up for shit that they didn't do. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.